butterflies on my insides have all gone away. You're not along for the danger, but I'm here to stay. I fall even deeper in the lies, they don't keep me away. You wanna know my secrets, so you keep crashing into my waves. I don't have the patience for that, not okay with waiting for that. I don't know what's changed in my head. Let's go somewhere and never come back. Tonight we lose control. No matter where we go, we're never going home. And you don't even know when I get you alone, you can lose your halo. What you waiting for? I've been feeling low. Won't you give me more? I fall even deeper in the lies, they don't keep me away. You wanna know my secrets, so you keep crashing into my waves. I don't have the patience for that, not okay with waiting for that. I don't know what's changed in my head. Let's go somewhere and never come back. Tonight we lose control. No matter where we go, we're never going home. And you don't even know when I get you alone, you can lose your halo. You can lose your halo. Control. No matter where we go, we're never going home. And you don't even know when I get you alone, you can lose your halo. You can lose your halo. You can lose your halo.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Learning Fives Winter 2019 North American Bronze Silver Grand Finals. My name is Finnick, and joining me today is the one and only Can Opener Dude.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready for a very exciting game now that Zoe has been banned. So yeah, that's a good way to open up a pick and ban phase, let me tell you.
So, a little bit about this teams. On the blue side today, we have Team of Teamers, and on the red side, we have Clean Communications. We started with 16 teams across 4 groups, and now we are down to just 2. The winner gets a lot of bragging rights going into the next session. So, let's get into this draft, shall we?
Yep, it's gonna be a lot of fun, cool times. These are this and the following series after this will be best of 3. So we have a lot of games lined up for you, assuming that everyone doesn't immediately get stomped. So, talking about the bans first off, obviously Zoe, very, very strong. Brand, easily a good flex pick. And the Nico has not been nerfed yet, but is going to be nerfed in next patch. So those explain the 3 bans that Teamers has brought out. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see 2 ADC bans come down. Those are both Lucian and Ezreal, both very safe ADCs and very good at scaling into the later game. Lucian more so. So no surprises there. And of course, Lulu, a very protective, very easy to play support. So something that's very good to pick up if you're looking to play around that bot lane.
Just a quick reminder about these bans. The picks are actually out of order. They're being picked in positional order. However, picks and bans were done in any order because of the pro draft. So while you might see a ban here towards another mid laner, I believe this is going to be a LeBlanc ban, even though they've already picked Malzahar. That is why you see that.
Yeah, it's we use pro draft in order to streamline these things. Because the League of Legends draft can be kind of finicky at times. It can be kind of like you sometimes, but no. So we use pro draft to get around that. Now we do see, of course, the LeBlanc and the Cassiopeia being banned, as well as the dominant top laner in Sion and another ADC. So a lot of ADC bans coming out from Clean Communications here. That will put Pasquino onto the Kai'Sa, which is as fair a pickup as you can imagine. Didn't get a whole lot of time to talk about all of the picks, but generally speaking, we're looking at tank v tank top lane, which won't give us much information. Master Yi versus Sejuani in the jungle, which is going to pretty much revolve around how well My Name is Pyke can dominate the early game, because once they get the late game, they're about as even when it comes to utility. Master Yi kills everyone, Sejuani protects everyone. They kind of balance each other out. So it's really going to be how My Name is Pyke plays that early game to try and get around that. In the mid lane, we do have one shot versus cannot be one shot. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. Malzahar, of course, very, very strong in the wave clear department, hoping to keep Syndra under that tower so she cannot roam.
I'd like to point out that Malzahar here took Cleanse, which is, of course, to make sure that he stays out of any CC. Once we get into the fight, he's probably going to end up using his ultimate defensively against the dive from the Kai'Sa, just because, Kai'Sa ults in, able to do a lot of damage onto the backline. They don't want that. So Malzahar is a bit on the utility side, trying to protect this Vayne. Actually, they drew a very much protect the Vayne comp over on the side of Clean Communications.
I was actually just about to get to that, Nick, but yes, they did draft a very heavy protect the Vayne comp. I imagine this Kai'Sa is going to pick up a QSS within the first 3 items, somewhere in there. I imagine, of course, it won't be the first item, but it will be somewhere in there, because they've got the Malzahar ult, they've got the Vayne Condemn, they've got the Braum stuns, and they've got the Shen taunts. So Kai'Sa under a lot of threat here. Whereas on the other team, they actually have a fair bit of CC as well. They've got the Poppy stun, they've got the Sejuani double stuns, they've got Syndra stuns, and of course they've got the Disconnect binding, which basically gives you a lever buster. So I imagine that the Vayne will also be picking up a QSS fairly early as well. So this is going to be a game based around who does a better cosplay of Captain Jack. And I think Jungle Milk has an advantage there because he's already playing Vayne. But we'll have to see how that jungle matchup, how that ADC matchup goes between Pasquino and Jungle Milk, to see which one of those can survive the overwhelming amount of CC here. Now, that's where that wave clear I was talking about between the mid lanes of Alvari and PMEQ'd Zoe picks goes, is that Malzahar being able to keep Syndra under tower will mean that Syndra cannot roam to that bot lane, get those early ganks off. So that means that if Jungle Milk can build an advantage for themselves, then they will have a significant advantage going into the later parts of the game, because I feel that the Syndra ganks will be key to breaking the stalemate in this bot lane. So really what it comes down to is going to be how well can this Vayne Braum bot lane pull an advantage when they're in the 2v2. That's not an easy task, though, considering that they've got the Morgana to face up against. They've got
And the Sejuani.
And a Sejuani, because they've got Vayne, who is relatively short range, and Braum, who is melee. So Morgana gonna have a snare fest if the Power Me Fist is going to land those little
Bindings.
those things that we don't like, those ones.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how it goes, but I think what it really comes down to is that it's going to be team of teamers trying to survive into the late game, where they'll be able to do a significant amount of damage, and Clean Comp's trying to break an advantage, because if it goes to late game, everything's more or less even.
Yes.
But in the early game, the rest of the Clean Communications has the advantage.
With that said, we're going to go to a quick music break as we load in. We will see you in a couple of minutes. Don't touch that browser. Hello, everybody, and welcome back as we see a pause to
Welcome to Pause of Legends.
welcome to Pause of Legends, guys. Welcome to the Winter 2019 North American Bronze Silver Grand Finals. Once again, my name is Finnick, and joining me today is Can Opener Dude. In our match today on the blue side, as this pause continues to exist, on the blue side, we have Team of Teamers with their top laner, Tai Mai Tai, their jungler, Tank Duty, their mid laner, Owlery, their bot laner, Pesquino, and their support, playing the Morgana, Power Fist Mei.
And in the top lane on the other side for the team called Effective Communication? Good Communication?
Clean
what kind?
communication.
Clean Communication. Okay. And on the side of Laundry Communication, we have in the top lane CLG Rampage. In the jungle, my name is Pike. In the mid lane, PM me, FBI Bates. In the ADC position, R7, ADC Milk, and in the bot lane on that support pick, we have Savage Garden.
As we go through this pause, gives us more time to talk about these matchups. Something I would like to point out a little bit that we didn't touch as much in draft is this jungle matchup, the Yi versus the Sejuani. Yi obviously having a bit more power in that early and mid game, but Sejuani is very good at punishing people who are pushed up, like a Vayne would be.
Yeah, it is going to be a somewhat interesting, different dynamic, I guess would be the right word for it, between Sejuani and Master Yi here, because my name is Pike. He's going to get fairly invested in hitting that level 6, but at the same time, he wants to dominate this early game. He wants to keep Tank Duty back. He wants to push them out of their jungle if at all possible. He wants to do everything he can to basically ensure that he gets ahead early, because once Tank Duty becomes a tank on duty, then there's not going to be a whole lot he's going to be able to do on this Yi towards Tank Duty. So if he wants to affect any change in this jungle matchup itself, he needs to do it early. Now, on the other side, Tank Duty wants to do the exact opposite thing. They want to avoid the Master Yi. They want to continually gank lanes, but they do not want to get counter ganked. They do not want to get counter jungle. So I'm expecting a lot of wards to come out from blue team here, from Team of Teamers, to try and control where Yi is and try and track him around the map. Now, whether they do so or not is another question, but that's what I would have been suggesting to this team going into this game is, hey, make sure you have ward coverage, track where the Master Yi is going, because you want to make sure that you're not allowing him to get any early surprise kills. So that's really what it's going to be coming down to in the jungle, is that Tank Duty wants to be kind of just ganking, doing the regular old jungle thing, while also avoiding My Name is Pike. Because if Tank Duty and My Name is Pike get to level 8, get to level 9, get to level 11, before actually any significant amount of kills happen between the two of them, then the matchup swings very heavily in Tank Duty's favor. So it's kind of puts My Name is Pike on a timer in that regard, is that they do need to have that early pressure in order to get ahead. So we'll have to see how that goes for the jungle matchup. One thing I do want to point out here is that Savage Garden actually picked up minion dematerializers. Now, I haven't been playing a whole lot of extremely competitive high-level support in recent days, but I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure minion dematerializer does not work in conjunction with Relic Shield. Feel free to correct me if it does.
It does work in conjunction with Relic Shield.
Aha!
It is.
See, this is why I have you.
It is why when you take something like a Shen support, for example, you take Minion Dematerializer, because that way you are able to have a bit of ability into the split push later in the game if need be. Same if you're doing something like a Galio support. Things that are not really meta, but not quite off meta either. Dematerializer is a good pickup.
Okay, yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense then. Honestly, I have never seen that interaction, but again, it's not been my focus in the recent days to look at that high level support gameplay. So that is really cool that interaction does work out, and I can definitely see then why Savage Garden would want to pick that up, because
It helps them push the lane early.
Yeah, because Fist Me Power and Pasquino are certainly going to be a rather oppressive lane for a melee champion like Savage Garden on this Braum to face off against. So I do like the pickup of the minion Dematerializer to see what he can do in the meantime. We're still in a pause. It's been about 6 minutes. I think it is one of the mid laners that is having the connection issues right now.
I believe it's Owlery.
Yeah, I wasn't really gonna call him out there, but that works too. So we're just gonna see whether we can get them into game here in a second. I imagine that our invisible stream god here is talking to the teams to figure out what's going on. And
Invisible stream god who might
Invisible
or may not
stream
be
god.
named Penguin.
that may or may not be named Penguin. But no, this is something that can happen. We've seen it, of course, in the LCS. We've seen it in the LCK. But
LPL. You forgot about LPL finals.
oh yeah, the LPL finals. Didn't they have like some conspiracy to show more ads with the pauses or something?
I'm not sure about that, but what was that? That was like 3 pauses in 3 games, something like that.
Yeah, we'll have to check with Niberia on that one. By the way,
That wasn't this spring. That was like last summer, but still.
Yeah, by the way, one of our I'm not sure how familiar the whole stream chat here is with our staff changes, but one of our dear friends, Niberia, who used to be a caster here at Learning Fives, has moved on to casting the LPL English broadcast. So if you're ever up in the middle of the night, like most of us are, because we long for death and cannot sleep, then feel free to tune into the LPL English class and listen to the dulcet tones of the massive dome. And
The dome.
the dome, praise be the dome, and that will be a fun time. So now that we've got our little plug for the LPL, because they totally need our help with viewership, we are
Do
now
we do the plug for Mobalytics now?
okay. Yeah, we also have a partnership with Mobalytics. Mobalytics.gg shows you how to improve your game across several different platforms of stats, including what to improve upon, what you're good at, and what champions they suggest you can play. Check it out now at mobalytics.gg. And man, I should write that down. That was pretty good. I just thought
That was a pretty good on the spot advert for our partners.
Yeah.
In there, they do, in fact, I believe, they'll give free premium membership to any of the coaches for the next session.
Yeah, I believe that's right. Penguin can feel free to bang us over the head if that's not correct. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. There's some great guys. I've used Mobalytics a little bit since getting it. Obviously, I don't have a whole lot of time, as I've had a lot of stuff going on recently. But no, it's a great tool, and it gives you a lot of really cool functions to look into when you get that premium. So if you are a coach and you're looking for a platform to improve yourself and to improve your students, then Mobalytics certainly is a good way to go. We're approaching 9 minutes in the pause now. I don't know if we have any update from our invisible stream god about what's going on. Okay, so we do have confirmation that the mid laners are reset. The mid laner is resetting their internet box. Punch that router, and we'll see if maybe that gives us a connection. Obviously,
we have 15 minutes of pause time per team per series, if I remember correctly. So hopefully that takes less than 5 minutes for them. It is unfortunate, but we have loaded in, and they have 5 minutes and 30 seconds about a pause time remaining.
Yep, what it comes down to is that if they cannot get it working within the game, they will forfeit this first game. And then if they can't get it working within a reasonable period of time, then they will forfeit the series, unfortunately. And that does really suck, considering this is the finals, but that is the way we have to do it to maintain fairness between the two teams. no unflame the mid laners for this. It's obviously not their fault if their internet just decides not to work. But it is an unfortunate set of situations here. Trying to think what else we could talk about in the meantime. What do you got for me, Nick?
Well, we could talk about Magic the Gathering. Turn this into an LCK broadcast and talk about things that aren't even related to League of Legends.
So there was no, we're not going to talk about that. As much as I would love to, I feel like Penguin would probably strangle us if we made this into a Magic the Gathering stream. So instead, we'll talk about some fun things in the League of Legends universe. Like, for instance,
LCS.
yeah, like for instance, Jet did transition over to the Balance team a few months back, and he just made a very long post. I think it was about a week ago about how they're going to be changing bounties recently. It seemed relatively well received by the community about how they're going to retool how the farming bounties work, which seem to be the most impenetrable and kind of esoteric part of the bounties.
Apologies for that. My phone was not muted.
So that's going to be a pretty interesting situation. What is your take on the bounty changes?
I think that, thank God, farm bounties are the fucking worst thing that ever happens. Actually, it's not worse. I think that the concept is at its core is pretty good, but it did lead to the Frostomancy exploits that happened a few patches ago. Which, by the way, if you play something like a mage support and you already were taking Frostfang, try taking it with Klepto because it works. I had a game where I had to play Anivia support because I'm an Anivia one trick, and I was using Frostfang and Kleptomancy, and we won that game.
Yeah,
So
it's fun. I do think, obviously, balance is hard. Let's be honest here. Like, I know that it is, it's one of the subreddit and the greater League of Legends community, one of their favorite things is to make fun of the balance team. But balance is actually ridiculously hard, especially for a game of close to 1 billion players. Like, this is, without a doubt, one of the most complicated games on the market as far as multiplayer games goes. So I'm willing to forgive quite a lot, and I believe that League of Legends is continuously heading in the right direction. It hasn't always been heading in the right direction, but I do believe it is doing so now. And I do think, though, that the change to the gold bounties is certainly going to improve the game state somewhat. I never had a problem specifically with the farm bounties because I'm terrible at farming, but I could definitely see how it would affect some other people in that way. Another recent thing that we could talk about is, of course, the rank changes. They did remove positional rankings, which I know a lot of people had some problems with. Again, I only played one game of ranked this season so far.
my personal take on the changes is that if you're going to reset positional rankings, you have to bring back what is it called? Autofill protection for promos, because I got that support game in my promos and I am a mid-top queue. So yeah, Riot, please put the autofill protection during promos back, because now that game affects the mid lane rank, and if I lost that game, well, then I lost a promo game, right? It's kind of a big deal, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's not a fun time. I imagine that they'll eventually re-enable it. It's a complicated situation with the ranking system. I can definitely see why they wanted to go with positional rankings, but I think that the main problem with it is that no one actually knew what the system was supposed to do in the community or within Riot.
I feel like positional ranking probably does better in low elos like gold, silver, bronze, iron than it does in high elos, because having we're back in guys.
I don't think that their mid laner is here.
I do not think that they reconnected either.
Okay, they have decided to play without the mid laner, which is a terrible choice. They probably should have just forfeited the game. But this will inevitably be a 15-minute surrender game, so that will be that. And we'll
I
just move on.
do not agree with the 15-minute surrender. Obviously, Morgana can go mid lane. I'm not sure how Kai'Sa is in a 1v2, but you know, there is a possibility that they are able to get back into the, or that they're able to hold out until Allery reconnects.
Yeah, but precluding Allery connecting within the next 5 minutes or so, the let's be honest, in a 5v5 environment where everyone's talking to each other, there's basically a 0 or a 1% chance of the 4v5 before winning. So I'm not hopeful for their chances here. I appreciate the go get 'em attitude, but honestly, it's just not going to work out for them, I don't think. But they're going to certainly try it.
We
So
have
we may
hope.
have a chance. There may be a chance. They just rejoined the Discord chat, so we don't know.
Typical 5-point start, not the invade.
Yeah, nothing really crazy going on here. Of course, we are going to be wanting to watch the jungle matchup, assuming that the mid lane DC doesn't do much of a craziness here. Then this jungle matchup will be what we want to watch because it will give us the best insight into how the game is going to progress.
Actually, the Morgana came down bot, so they're literally giving Malzahar a free couple of plates at the very least here.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
I don't agree with that one. I would leave my
they have
ADC
faith
alone.
in Allery, I guess, and to come back within the next wave or so. And that's a stun onto the Morgana, which is not something I'd expect at level 1. That's a fair bit of damage onto that Morgana there.
Those Braum Qs, man, you gotta not do it. Actually, the Sejuani's gonna position around mid lane. Meanwhile, Poppy gets the stun on to the Shen, but they are both kind of wet noodles. I wouldn't expect too much happening, especially since both took Ignite and not TP.
Now, assuming that Allery does come back within
Or
the
they
next
took
couple,
TP, not Ignite.
in the next couple minutes, this is actually very, very good for tank duty because they'll be able to pick up a few minion waves in between clearing their camps. My Name is Pyke will be able to farm their jungle while they are in that mid lane, but they do get fair.
Root onto the Braum. Unstoppable. Gonna got a little bit of a shield there.
But they will get a fair bit of farm here, and that will allow them to level up a bit quicker than you'd expect for a jungler and get them a fair bit of gold. Obviously, they will be very zoned out versus a Malzahar for the most part, but it is something to bear in mind. I don't imagine that it'll give them much of an advantage because they are still a 1v5. Nice bind there, me fist power.
I mean, there's not too much you could possibly do on the follow-up based on where the wave was. Unbreakable can come out. Bind hits the root. And Braum, not with the Unbreakable, has to queue forward. They're jumped down to about half health right now. As top lane keeps farming, and bot lane keeps farming. Actually, top lane is going in the favor of the Poppy right now. This is not something I would have expected. I'd expect Shen to be a little bit more forward in the lane. But
well, the Shen is ahead in farm, though. That may just be with positioning of the minions at the moment. But we do see Master Yi's coming up to the top lane.
Master Yi is coming out. The dash comes through. Yi taken down to about 300 health. Q's forward into the Poppy. Poppy down to 200. Flash forward and the taunt. That is first blood for My Name is Pyke.
Yeah, and that's what kind of what I expected here with that Poppy pushing forward. Shen, he doesn't need to be positioning ahead in the lane to be ahead in the lane. He just needs to farm, and that's exactly what CLG Rampage is doing. So good on him to know exactly what his win condition is going to be, and good on My Name is Pyke to sense an opportunity there to go in.
And while that was a kill over CLG Rampage and a level advantage on that, he will have to give up some farm to TP back in the lane, get some items later.
Yeah, I mean, all of that Timey Tie picked up was a health crystal, so no real reason to go back just yet. Another really nice bind on to Jungle Milk.
Those bindings keep hitting pretty nicely. Power Fist Me is very, very good at hitting those. Something that I did notice in that Shen is now flashless as well. So that might be an opportunity for the Sejuani, and we get a reconnect from the Syndra before Malzahar hits 6. Trace happening up top side. Shen taken down to about 2/3 health, as is Poppy.
Yeah, now the interesting thing here is that Timey Tie does have that corrupting potion, so they'll be able to retake that damage. That does put the advantage into Poppy's hands. CLG Rampage positioning rather forward here. I do not like how he's positioning here. I would, in my minor estimation of top
but
lane.
here comes the Yi. Engage stun onto the Shen. Poppy does hit 6 before Shen does here, but the Yi is still here. I believe he's spotted out.
There was no ward in that bush, so I don't think he was spotted out until he walked out of the bush.
I believe he was pinged going in.
Yeah, that might have
Regardless,
been-
now that the Syndra is back in the game, this is going to be a bit interesting because she is 4 levels behind the Malzahar, which may or may not have some very adverse effects coming in
1,000
to
gold down too.
10 minutes. The goal difference is quite insane here. Shen gonna get pushed under tower, but he's fine. He can farm under tower.
Kind of.
Kinda. You know.
I mean, the directed camera shows him missing a minion. I feel like.
Oh, but there's a stun! He's down to about 100 health! The knockup from the Poppy ultimate, able to get the kill onto CLG Rampage, not respecting the minion line there, pushes a bit forward, and gets punished for it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about here with the Shen's positioning. I really feel that when that big minion wave was kind of frozen just outside his tower range, probably should have gone back, burn the teleport, get back before the cannon dies, just so that you get your items. He is going to be doing exactly that. He's now got the Tabi plus some healthish items. Really feel that maybe some more lane sustain would have been useful. He does, of course, have the Rejuve bead, but I think that maybe picking up at least a refillable potion might have been a good idea in this matchup, since Timey Tie is trying so hard to deal chip damage.
It looks like he's going for the Sunfire Cape first item here, so maybe he's not too worried about that. Although, oh, there's the binding again. Voidseeker gonna land. Not gonna take that. Well, because Kaz is not level 6 yet, but how do you know? Meanwhile, mid lane, the 4-level difference has reduced to a 3-level difference because of XP. But my name is Pike. Tank duty. Position around the blast cone, but he takes it over.
Yeah, interesting. I believe the reason for that is that both mid lane and bot lane had priority for tank duty there, and so while he would have been able to do a fair bit of damage to tank duty before Pasquino and name that I can't think of any more anagrams for could show up.
Q, the binding gets onto it. Voidseeker gonna land. Bit of a self shield over there by the Braum. Gonna be taking down about 200 health off of him, but he's gonna survive. This
But
bot
yeah.
lane is just smashing for Team of Teamers right now.
Yeah, it's definitely advantage to Pasquino here, which is something that I would expect given the range difference and the CC differences here.
Oh, but there's a
Pasquino gonna-
stun onto the Shen. Shen does have flash in about 20 seconds. He keeps stepping up there, dude. You gotta play a little bit further back. Farm under tower, you can do that. Meanwhile,
He
though,
is only
Shen
3
coming
farm
over mid.
up. He has 3 farm up, and only 3 farm down. I mean, and in addition
Oh, but
to
there's
that-
the suppress on to the Syndra. Syndra's taken down to about 400 health. Q after the flash. That's going to be an easy kill over to My Name is Pike. Ultimate's exhausted on the side of clean communication as Binding comes in. Unstoppable. Cause that. So that is another kill over to the jungler of clean communication, and he's getting a nice lead for himself and a 500 gold bounty.
Tank duty is down here, but it is warded. I think. Yes, it is warded, so they did know that tank duty was there, completely wasting his time. So,
Oh,
My
my
Name is
time.
Pike probably should have picked up the blue buff on blue side while tank duty
Oh,
was
but there's
down
the roots, they just keep on hitting. Oh, but the Vayne charges forward. That is a bit of an aggressive position there. Braum Q gonna land onto Pasquino. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pasquino has to flash away. He's down to 100 health. He's gonna go down, but the Ignite getting forth onto the Vayne. That's the punish from the Morgana with the Q. And bad fight turns into a good fight as Drake steals. Oh wait, here comes the stun, the ultimate. Now taken down very low. Shen's gonna ult in onto the Yi here, taking him down to 100 health. Allery trying to position forward. Root comes down, but the Kai'Sa able to get him with the Void Seeker and the snipe. Now charging back into it. The flash forward, gonna try to get the permafrost stack. That is another kill onto the side of tank duty, and now the gold is even from a 1,500 gold deficit.
Yep, very, very well played there by the blue team to be able to pick that up. Also, Timey Tai picking up some tower plates in the top lane. Get them a little bit of gold on the backside of that as well. It hurts me seeing how that bot lane fight went off because Jungle Milk went in, he had the advantage, but then he lost sight and couldn't pick up sight on Pasquino until after the heal went off, a little bit delayed, and after
He got bound.
anagram of a support happened with the Chains of Corruption. So a bit of unfortunate. Soul Shackles, not Chains of Corruption. Chains of Corruption is in fact Varus's alt's name.
Oh yeah, that is correct. I thought that was with a Q, but it looks like it was in fact Soul Shackles. I thought it's about to come back online.
Yeah, it's Soul Shackles much shorter cooldown. Most people would expect for an ultimate of that power level. Also,
First tower. Gonna be taking by this
Almost.
Malzahar soon? No! Oh, tower's at about, what is that, 50 or so health? Something like that?
almost.
The last plate. As you can see, despite that fight, Clean Communication is still 400 gold up, and that's mostly on this Malzahar right now. 450 gold bounty. And lots of plates, but here comes Sejuani, gonna go forth, smite him, get the stun onto him. Now he's gonna get the permafrost out, that's 2 stuns, and the cleanse and the flash able to get him out of there just barely with about 50 health. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Power Fist Me gonna have to flash away. He going in for the cube, down to 100 health. He's taken down Mount Pasquino. Oh, what was that? Ults back into it. I'm not sure he wanted to take that. That is going to be a clean 2 kills over to the side of Clean Communications. And
Yeah,
a
the
1.5k gold lead.
The thing here is that even with Jungle Milk slightly behind, they do have My Name is Pike. My Name is Pike is now 3-1. I do believe he picked up one of those kills there, but he is very,
Yes, he
very
did.
powerful. And even with the amount of CC and protection that Anagram support and Pasquino can put out, there's just no stopping a charging Yi when he's got a Vayne beside him. It's just that's just how it happens. And that was impressively well done there. And I also want to talk about FBI open up in the mid lane, being able to not only pick up the first turret, but survive that gang. He did hold the splash a bit longer than I would have expected, simply because that...
Cleansing
want-
with Sejuani ultimate was a very good... Or saving it for the second stun, not the ultimate. Oh, but meanwhile, the flash comes forward. Poppy gonna have to disengage with the ultimate, taking down to about 100 health. Gonna get out, though.
yeah,
As the blue buff goes
but-
over to...
specifically
Cameron.
what I mean is that the... I feel that he probably could have used Flash to dodge the Sejuani ult and then just gotten out without the cleanse. but-
Oh. Meanwhile, he just kind of dives with his ultimate. Without the support there, it's kind of an easy one onto Pasquino.
Yeah, this is where the game is gonna start to really come into the favor of team good
Clean communication.
clean communication, good vibrations.
Well, wait,
And-
tank duty onto CLG Rampage. Actually gonna miss that due to the Shen W. That is a very nice interaction there. And we're back to map neutral phase.
Yeah, it's like I said, still looking very, very in the favor of Team Good Vibrations, and now with the turret plating gone, it's going to allow their lanes to push much heavier. Their towers are still very, very healthy as compared to the bot lane, and lack of mid lane tower from team of teamers. So it's certainly going to be a interesting situation to see if Team of Teamers can come back from this. Allery now at level 8, on par with both the bot lane and the jungler. Still 2 levels behind the
Malzahar.
Malzahar. So
The,
it's certainly going to be an interesting situation for him.
The vision game right now is a bit interesting, I would say. There's a lot of vision around this next Infernal Drake, but not quite as much around the Rift Herald on side of Clean Communication. Meanwhile, the control wards up towards the Rift Herald are more in the favor of Team of Teamers. Any particular thoughts on why they might be prioritizing this this Drake?
Well, they want to make picks. They need to surprise someone to really get ahead in this sort of situation. They want to try and catch My Name is Pike while he's alone with 2 or 3 people so that they can try and kill him without having to deal with the rest. That's really going to be the only way they're going to be able to kill him outside of maybe some stray abilities in a team fight. And they do not want to be...
Oh, the flash forward! There comes a suppress onto the back line, taken down very low, has a flash away. Allery gonna die pretty quickly there. Blastcone taking over the wall. Mild, My Name is Pike follows the flash forward and the taunt. The Shen's gonna actually get the kill there. And meanwhile, the Poppy goes down. Power Fist Me gonna land the binding, but not quite gonna be enough to save that fight for them. That's a clean 3-4-0 for Clean Communications and a dragon.
Yeah, they were really grouped up there, which is unfortunately not what they want to be doing in this situation. They are very, very behind at the moment. They are about... They were not, obviously, 6,000 gold behind at the beginning of that fight, but they were significantly behind, and grouping up versus a Malzahar is a terrible situation, especially when you're behind. They wanted to... What they would want to do is try and make a pick. They wanted to poke over the Baron wall, but they got too close, they grouped up too much, and then FBI Open Up was allowed to get onto Allery, which is the weakest link here, and I really think that the Kaisa is going... Pasquino needs to pick up a QSS ASAP at this point. Also, Tai Mai Tai went for Trinity First Force, which is absolutely the worst possible item you could buy on Poppy aside from Runans in this situation. So interested to see how that's going to work out for Tai Mai Tai.
Oh, but here we go, top side. Pink's coming out for the ganks. Gonna get spotted out there. Tai Mai Tai gonna back up just a little bit. I think that what is pretty interesting about that fight is that we see a bit of the offensive use from the Malzahar ultimate, when originally we were saying it was going to be a bit more defensive, you know, the Kaisa ulting into the fights, but so far she's only used it once.
You said it was going to be defensive.
I mean, I'm just pointing out that I was wrong. Meanwhile, Kaisa gonna try to get some damage onto R7. Braum ultimate comes through, taking down to about 200 health. That's a crit. And meanwhile, Power Fist making a flash forward from Jungle Milk. Now the stasis gonna come through. I don't think that's the proper stasis. Gets stunned by the Braum. That is a double kill over to the Vayne. And we're gonna just keep on going here. More objectives on the side of Clean Communications as the Rift Herald goes down.
Yeah, the Jungle Milk is now just smurfing on these fools, and now...
but the Sejuani ultimate able to interrupt the call of the Herald. That was actually 200 IQ plays from that Sejuani.
Yeah, it does mean sacrificing the bot lane inner tower.
Oh, but the stun! Able to get huge damage! Yi got a Q trying to get out. The Poppy ultimate gonna secure that for the side of Team of Teamers, and a shutdown goes over to the Sejuani.
Excuse me. Ugh. In any case, this game is totally not boring. But
don't dive a Sejuani. That's my word of advice. Bonnie gonna miss there.
No, it's Timey Tai, I don't like you fighting this. You're already at half health, and there's no one around. CLG Rampage doesn't.
A single taunt W would actually, a taunt QW would actually just fucking, or, wow, I'm fined. Would actually just destroy Tai Mai Tai. As you can see, he's taken down to 400 health with just Qs alone.
Listen, CLG Rampage has a Tiamat and the parts of a Sunfire Cape, and he's able to beat up on Tai Mai Tai, who has a completed Trinity Force. If that doesn't state why it's a bad idea to build Trinity Force on Poppy, I don't know what will.
I mean, at that point, just build... If you're gonna build damage on Poppy, at least build a Black Cleaver. That way you can do something against the Shen. Like, come on.
Or, like, build an Iceborne Gauntlet. Or build, like, I don't know, maybe a tank item. Like, build Sunfire Cape. It's a damage tank item. It gives you both. It does magic damage, which Shen is not going to be specking for in a lane against a Poppy. Come on, guys. This isn't that hard. Okay, I'm done. Okay.
Well, we're done flaming team of teamers here for the time being, at the very least, as their top tower is gonna get some damage taken out of it. Kaisa, Shen, and Braum up here to secure that objective.
Kaisa. Oh,
no objectives have gone over to or sorry, not Kaisa, Vayne.
They look the same with that skin. That's hard. I was confused for a second. I'm like, did she switch teams? I would not be surprised. If I was Pasquino, I'd be switching teams here too.
Probably gonna do some damage, but really not gonna be enough other than the wave clear. Jungle Milk just has to hit the tower twice in order to kill it. Vision's being cleared towards the bot side around this third Infernal Drake. Poppy Ultimate gonna disengage onto the Vayne, but still taken down very low. This Infernal Drake, if it's taken by Clean Communications, will be huge. That'll be their second Infernal.
Yeah, it really comes down to Team of Teamers' only thing that they can really do in this situation is make catches onto Jungle Milk or make catches onto My Name is Pike. If they can't do either of those, they pretty much don't have a hope, really. Because they need to catch out one of these fed people. And once they do that, look at the kills on the board. If they can get rid of My Name is Pike and then lock down the Vayne long enough for that to get rid of as well, the rest of the team doesn't have very many kills. Obviously, the FBI would like to talk to you is kind of their next target after that point. But
I'm sorry, that is actually a Mountain Dragon. The infographic in the top left was incorrect.
Actually, that doesn't show you what type of drake it is. It just it always has that red dragon there.
Oh, I thought... Okay, well, the more you know.
The LCS one tells you what kind of drake it is.
Okay.
But the in-game spectator client one does not.
Oh, Jungle Milk gonna catch out tank duty here. Gonna try to get a bit of damage onto him.
Unfortunately, the Condemn would have actually hit him, would have actually...
Oh, that's the Baron Rush.
Oh, and there's not really anything they can do here. Tank Duty can try to go in, but the rest of his team is too far back.
Yeah, Sejuani not able to do much without the wall there for 50-50. That's not even a 50-50. She's just zoned off that completely.
Yeah, that's a gone.
Map reset gonna happen. So you're talking about getting Hex here, but I'm wondering, how do they even get the engage for a pick on a Jungle Milk at this point? Right? Like, how do they even get the engage onto the Yi? Their only big engage tool is the binding, and everything else is either follow-up or disengage. Like, you could engage with the Sejuani ultimate as well, but I don't necessarily think that it will be all that easy to get a pick, even.
Yeah, I don't know. It's certainly looking very, very dire for a Team of Teamers. Also, Deno flaming me in the admin chat because he thought that I was the one who was going to get fined. But no! It was Nick! It was not me this time. It's usually me.
Where's Deno flaming me?
In the admin chat, they were talking about how we were going to get fined for cussing on stream.
Oh yeah, that was me. Sorry, Deno. I'm looking at the production chat, not the admin chat, right?
I don't know. I thought I'd give a shout out to our lovely boy Dena, whose team will be playing in the 8 o'clock match. So please stick around for that. And
yes, 8 o'clock gold platinum match.
Yeah, it's certainly gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully we don't have a disconnect in that game. I'm not sure if it'll be as much of a stomp either way, but it certainly will not be as pausey as this one, assuming that there's not a disconnect now.
Meanwhile, Baron buff gonna help them take that mid tower as they rotate towards bot.
Yeah, Team of Teamers is putting up a pretty effective defense here for these.
Oh, with a stun, he can get on to the Shen. Shen gonna just get himself out. Meanwhile, blinding hits a minion. Not what you want to see. But here comes the dive suppression. That is a deletion right there. Tank Duty coming into the back line a little bit too little, too late. Has to flash out as he's taken down to about 1/3 health. Meanwhile, Savage a little bit there, maybe gonna die. No, the heal comes through just in time to save him from the Syndra as this top tower goes down.
That was a really
kill and a turret for nothing.
That was a really good stun.
Where's the trade, Team of Teamers? That's what I want to know.
The trade is they got their mid laner back, but they have to lose the game for it. But
You
no,
got your mid laner back. What did it cost?
everything.
Everything.
They could still come back. They could reverse sweep. But it would take a lot of retooling of the drafts here, and for Allery to, of course, not disconnect again. But assuming Allery does not disconnect again, I do imagine Game 2 will be much closer, because even with an 11,000 lead, excuse me, an 11,000 gold lead, Team Mr. Blue Sky has not ended the game just yet, and they are posturing around another dragon, which will this time, I believe, be an Infernal Drake for real this time.
Is it actually going to be an Infernal Drake for real? Because last time I thought it was going to be an Infernal Drake, it wasn't.
Yeah, I checked the JPEG on the wall there. That's what I'm gonna call it from now on. It's gonna be the JPEG.
The JPEG on the wall. I'm sorry. I'm just always camera. Don't take the time to. Ain't nobody got time for that. But it is in fact the Infernal Drake here.
But there's not really much Team and Teamers can do here. Probably should have gone Abzan maybe, or maybe Sultai. I think might have been a better in this matchup. No one's gonna get that joke, but it made me laugh.
See, the thing is, right? They decided to draft Ravnica, which is not the correct set to draft.
Penguin is very mad at us. I'm sorry, Penguin. There's nothing going on. All right, so this dragon setup, obviously Tank Duty can try and steal this, but it doesn't matter because it's already taken. So
they're just gonna rush that down. I would assume that this Death Brush setup here is to try to get a pick, but they're nowhere near the rest of the team. They're just gonna run this down mid here. Baron's up in about a minute 15, but they might just be able to get the inhib tower.
Yeah,
at
this
least
is just a slow bleed. There's not a single tower down on the side of Team Clean Communication. Like, the amount of mess ups it would take for Team Clean Communication to lose this game is higher than the chances of TL dropping out of groups at Worlds this year.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like it's
Root gonna actually hit onto the Braum, unbreakable, excuse me, going to stop some of the damage. Meanwhile, yeah, no, they're just pushing this. Getting that pressure, they got two lanes pushing in. So long as they have mid priority, this should be a free Baron for them. Unless they give up the Baron and the Elder Drake here, I do not see them losing.
Yeah, no, it's like I respect them playing the slow game because they have everything going for them. They just want to make sure that they win this game without fail. They want to make sure that this game ends with them winning, and I can definitely understand that. At the same time, it almost feels like they probably should force something at some point.
But they are forcing the Baron. Shen able to get the two-man taunt. W gonna stop some of the damage. Down goes the Morgana and the Kaisa, only about 500 health there. My name is Pike. Gonna get the flash forward jungle. Gonna get the kill there. Pasquino down to 300 health. That's gonna be GG. Game 1 is going to be taken by Clean Communications here. They're just gonna run it down mid and end it. Very clean game from them. Taking advantage of that 4v5 early. But,
yeah, it's a bit unfortunate with the 4v5, but that's what it's going to come down to, is that plus the amount of power that...
yeah, Sejuani Ultimate's going to be a swing and a miss there. We've got 1 second till Morgana as well, but I don't see much happening here, and that is all she wrote, folks. Game 1 going to be taken by Clean Communications. Very well done. Clean macro. Unfortunate for the 4v5 early, but sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles when you're playing on something that isn't LAN.
Yeah, it is what it is. I expect a lot of changes to come through from the side of Team of Teamers. I imagine that one of the things that will change is that they make sure that their mid laner actually connects into the game. And we'll have to see how that progresses. Now, My Name is Pike is definitely going to be something that they need to be aware of. That Master Yi did work in that game one, as did Jungle Milk. So I imagine both the Vayne and the Master Yi will be high on the pick or ban list for Team of Teamers going into the second game.
And with all that said, we're going to take a quick music break between game one and game two and give these teams a little bit of time to communicate what exactly happened, retool their drafts, and all that. So, until then, my name is Fennec. Ken, you're supposed to say your name.
Oh, my name is Can Opener, dude.
And we'll see you in about 15 or so minutes. Don't touch that browser.
Try not to fall. Try not to lose any hope that the dawn might bring. Losing faith in me and everything I do, but now we'll be okay. We're alright, and we're not coming down. chains that you pull away. I feel the fear when you look at me. But we've had enough of love. Is this not enough? Let me in your arms. Feel it deep inside.
Hello and welcome back to the Learning Fives Winter 2019 North America Bronze Silver Finals. This is game 2. Teams switching sides after Clean Communication took game 1 in a dominant fashion. As we get into pick bands here, my name is Finnick and joining me is Can Opener Dude.
Hi,
What
I'm
do you
Ken.
think? What's going on?
So far, no changes on the bands just yet. I'm a little surprised at that from the side of Clean Communications.
I believe you mean Team of Teamers. Although they got the E ban here.
Yes, so they did ban Yi there. Team of Teamers did ban the Yi. So, Clean Communication, obviously going to it worked from last time. Don't fix what ain't broke. Banning the E, very important against My Name is Pike, but I imagine My Name is Pike has something up his sleeve, and according to Pro Draft, we are about to see it. And I'm very excited for it.
The Wombo Combo, the Shen Nocturne. I love that combo. It is so much fun with the engage. You just Nocturne presses R, Shen presses R, and hey, you have CC for days onto many targets.
Yeah, and I mean, you can even combo that together with Open Up It's the Police with the Malzahar ult, and you just go straight in on them. It's like Malzahar ults, Nocturne ults, Shen ults. Suddenly, the entire team is on your face.
Meanwhile, Team of Teamers switching up their draft a bit. Gonna take a Bruiser top lane instead of the tank that is Poppy. Gonna take a carry jungler instead of the tank that is Sejuani. And they're taking my favorite champion in the entire game, Anivia, in the mid lane.
Yeah, I really don't feel that this is going to be particularly useful against the Malzahar. Anivia is a farming mid laner. Malzahar out-farms, out-roams, out-kills Anivia at every stage of the game.
I would say Anivia is a better late game champion than a Malzahar. Once Anivia hits 3 items, she should probably do better than Malzahar in team fights because she just has to ult wall in the right place, and then everyone's taking 1,000,000 damage, and then you hit your Q and you get the follow-up CC from... Actually, they don't have any follow-up CC. Now I'm looking at it. Not too much combo, so Anivia is actually their main source of CC this game.
Yeah, and that's going to be a bit of a problem, I think. In addition to that, they have drafted a Jinx Soraka bot lane, which is going to be even more vulnerable to...
They drafted a lot of damage and not a lot of tank.
Yeah, like almost 0 tank. The tankiest person is the Darius, and while I do like the Darius pick for Tai Mai Tai because he was going very aggressive with the Poppy pick last game, so this will be very interesting to see if he can do the same thing against Shen as this Darius. The rest of the team doesn't really hold up. Tank duty on Graves, I'm going to reserve judgment because I haven't, we only really saw a bit of him playing Sejuani, but it was fairly decent. Allery, again, didn't see much of him last game because of the DC, which was unfortunate. So Anivia could be decent, but I really do think this bot lane is going to be exposed fairly heavily against a Vayne Braum because, yes, they banned out the Master Yi from My Name is Pike, but they left the Vayne open. And it boggles my mind because Jinx Soraka will lose hardcore to a Vayne if Vayne is able to get on them at all. And I think Braum will certainly enable that, especially in a Soraka lane. I feel that if you were going to go a Soraka support, you should almost go a Caitlyn maybe, or another very safe backline ADC to
Caitlyn
farm
and Ezreal, something of that light. Although Ezreal was banned.
Yeah.
Well,
So
all I can really say about their draft here is they have their power spikes are all over the place. Graves falls off late. Jinx is very good late. Anivia is very good late. Darius is a bit of a lane bully, right? So it just
starts to fall off, yeah.
Yeah, and then he starts to fall off. So you have 2 very good late game champions and 2 very good early mid game champions.
So
but then on the side of
on
communication,
paper,
it's the same draft but with a Nocturne.
Yeah, and on paper that's fine, but in an actual game, it just means that your team fights become schizophrenic. Your lane ganks are decent at times and terrible at others, and you just, if you lose your advantage anywhere, you don't have it for anyone, because if your early game champions aren't gaining the advantage as early game champions, your late game champions don't get the advantage as late game champions. So it lends itself well if the team plays perfectly. So if team of teamers plays this game with the utmost mechanics to the nth degree, perfectly mechanically, makes all the right decisions, then yes, this comp will absolutely roll over clean communication.
Well,
Failing
they
that.
just have way more damage at the time of the game when tanks don't matter. Like you like Anivia by default is going to build a Liandry's, which is going to make the Shen and the Braum useless anyway. So, and there's really no lifesteal on the side of clean communication, so there's no reason to build anything but Liandry's third item. You are like at that point, she's able to start shredding through the front line there. But at the same time, the scaling from clean communication is just as strong, if not stronger, from the Vayne.
Yeah, and that all requires that Anivia Allery is able to get to that back lane and or even to the front lane without being killed. So we'll have to see if that works out for them as we get into game here.
As we get into the game, we're going to go to a quick music break. We'll be right back. And when we are, we're going to get into Game 2 of the North American Bronze Silver Grand Finals. Don't touch that browser. And that load time took a lot shorter than last time. Welcome back to the Learning Fives Winter 2019 North American Bronze Silver Grand Finals. This is Game 2. On the blue side, we have Team Clean Communications with their top laner, CLG Rampage. Their jungler, My Name is Pike. Their mid laner, FBI Open Up. Their bot laner, R7 Jungle Milk, and their support playing Savage Garden.
I mean, I think he's playing Braum actually, but
Oh, sorry, the support's name is Savage Garden. As they go in for this invade, and Can introduces the red side,
which is Team of Teamers. We have in the top lane Tai Mai Tai, in the jungle Tank Duty playing Not a Tank. In the mid lane, Allery, who has not DC'd on this Anivia. Pasquino as the ADC on this Jinx, and I really can't think of anything else save for work to say about this bot lane support's name, playing Soraka.
I mean, you could just interpret it as if she's playing Vi, in which case that name makes perfect sense.
Come on, resist arrest.
Because it's a power fist.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Render unto Caesar. I don't know.
By the way, Allery playing the tryhard Anivia skin, because the Qs are a lot harder to see with that skin. It's also the worst looking of the common Anivia skins. Changed my mind.
It's also the only skin that is any good looking at all, so it being the worst.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Festival Queen and Papercraft Anivia are both.
The only thing good about Paper Queen is the wall. The only thing.
No. Papercraft is great, but Festival Queen is such a good skin. What the heck? What the heck, man?
Okay.
What the heck?
It's more a testament to the fact that that skin is underwhelming that I didn't even remember it was a skin.
Nah. This is This is a solid number 3 on my list of Anivia skins. I only play this one if I'm tryharding. Anyway, flash forward coming through. Pyke gonna get a bit of a damage on there. 2 flashes. Excuse Pasquino taken down to 300 health, has the barrier. And the dive, not gonna get anything, but the barrier and 2 flashes for 2 flashes and an ignite.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but that does put a lot of pressure on this bot lane, but they do immediately come back up. So if My Name is Pyke wants to loop back around and come back down here, he certainly could, but he is going to lose his blue buff. Tank duty actually going into the opposing team's jungle, and not going into the jungler. Ugh. And now
My Name is Pyke winning that smite fight. Near sight onto the Nocturne. He's sitting at about 500 health. Gonna try to get out. Meanwhile, slow onto Pasquino. Silence gonna keep Jungle Milk from going any further into that, as trades exist in the bot lane.
Yeah, this game is looking much closer at the start here. I feel that maybe Team Clean Communication is pushing this a bit too hard at level 3. So we'll have to see how this advances here, because I do feel that they should probably back off a slight bit and let the game progress a bit more before going too ham.
That is entirely possible. Looking at this mid lane, something that is very important to realize here with the Anivia versus Malzahar is Malzahar uses his mana a bit slower than Anivia, but both use a lot of mana early. So Anivia is actually going to take the back and TP here, and I'd expect Malzahar to do the same soon.
Yeah, I imagine that the pickups here would be
Tyr and
Tyr.
the beginnings of...
Catalyst.
Yeah. Oh no,
what
maybe not Catalyst. Maybe he would go for the 1300 gold gives mana when you level up.
Lost Chapter.
Lost Chapter. There we go.
Yeah. The thing about Lost Chapter, it really doesn't build into a whole lot that Anivia wants. I mean, Morello.
Oh no, not Anivia. I meant the Malzahar.
Oh, Malzahar, yes. Malzahar definitely should be going Last Chapter, and
Anivia has a very set build path at the beginning of the game. You have to go Tyr into Catalyst and A Rod of Ages into Archangel Staff. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Otherwise, you do not have mana late game.
yeah, and I have discovered that when I tried to go up against a Zed and thought, man, I really need a Seeker's Arm Guard right now, and then I realized, man, I could really use some mana right now.
Yeah, no, if you take a Zonias, you take a third. Or if you're forced into an early Zonias, you have to take a third item as the earliest, which delays your power spike into the 4th item, so the 3rd.
Yeah. So in any case, one thing to point out here is that the Malzahar is going double amp tome, which will lead into the Lost Chapter, I do believe. I would like to see him go Catalyst as well. Lost Chapter into Catalyst into Rod of Ages, sit on the Lost Chapter so you can get some level ups, and then complete that into Morello's as it advances. But I really do feel that a Rod of Ages would be good in this particular game on the Malzahar, since he is going to be taking a lot of incidental damage in this lane.
Meanwhile, Shen is just dodging Qs with his own W, like a boss.
Greatest of ease.
It's not even a dodge. You just block him because it counts as an auto.
Do you really? The Q or the W?
The Q counts as an auto
The
from
spin?
the from there. Meanwhile, mid lane gonna get the gank onto the Malzahar. Not gonna find anything with that just yet. Anivia taking down about 150 health. But
Wait, I'm still on this. The spin, like the decimate.
yeah,
counts
the
as an auto.
decimate counts as an auto for the purposes of Shen's W.
What in all Sam heck? That is impressively.
Think about it this way: he's still using the axe, which is his auto attack weapon.
All right, that's fair, I guess. That's impressive. I like that. So, it's not the greatest of E's; it's the greatest of W's. So, meanwhile, in the bot lane, people are farming. That's it.
Imagine that. They're playing this under tower, which is about where I would assume they should take it. You know, Soraka just silences people off the wave, zone them off. They actually have a nice 400 gold, 300, 400 gold lead just in farm on the side of Team of Teamers right now. That's mostly in the bot and jungle.
Yeah,
And top lanes, actually.
it's really going to come down to mostly the jungle in the top lane, I feel, because in the mid lane, it's going to be an advantage over the Malzahar for a very big part of the laning phase until that Anivia can start to build into more mana items. It's not going to be able to farm too effectively with the R.
Actually, Anivia opted into the Blasting Wand over the Catalyst here, I believe, because they're going for this gank bot side.
I don't think much is going to come out because they do sniff it out. This does put 4 people on the bot side, which means that the dragon is now in contention. I do believe they have a stronger dragon take here for Team of Teamers, so... But they are going to back off of it because they do see the rest of...
Well, let's see. They're actually going to Death Rush this. Oh, the 2-man stun from the Anivia. The silence comes through. Meanwhile, diving to the back line, we have the Nocturne. Shenel's going to come through. Not going to be quite enough to save. Flash out from tank duty, and the flash, once again, from the Vayne. Now taken low, and there's the other flash taken out. The Jinx ult going to kill My Name is Pyke, and that's a 2 for 0, and a dragon over to Team of Teamers.
Yeah, very, very well played by Team of Teamers there. Probably should have just backed off there, honestly. For clean communication, that I honestly, hindsight's 20/20, and we can see everything. But I feel like that death rush should have been very easy to sniff out there.
It's unfortunate for clean communication there. Now they are down 1,500 gold, and no bounties to pick up just yet there either.
Yeah, and it's also unfortunate for us because if this goes to a game 3, that will put the other series down farther.
Oh, silence on the Malzahar into the suppress, taken down to about 200 health. Flash forward. Does the Malzahar Space Aids kill? No, it does not. But this gives the Nocturne the opportunity to get back in. Tank duty going to try to do something, but My Name is Pyke just able to kill him. Not sure what he was trying to do. Meanwhile, the Flash Braum ultimate, the Rocka ultimate, able to keep Pasquino alive there.
I like that trade. I like that trade from Savage Garden, trading his ultimate for Soraka's ultimate is very in favor of the Braum here because the Soraka ultimate is global. It does save the entire team. If a team fight breaks out, you're going to want that Soraka ult more than you're going to need that Braum ult, but the Braum ult will also be up quicker, significantly quicker than the Soraka ultimate will.
Tank duty did make a bit of a misplay there, trying to contest that dragon with no mana. I'm not quite sure what he expected to happen there, but that's a free kill and Drake over onto the side of...
Well, he expected them to immediately back off and let him get the dragon for free, obviously.
Obviously. Meanwhile, turret plate going down, bot side, over in favor of clean communication. They've actually brought this game back into a 500 gold lead, or 500 gold deficit and 1.5k gold deficit with that kill and that mountain dragon.
I am a bit interested to see how this top lane advances once they get out of laning phase, because Tai is playing this very cocky. He's been taunting his lane opponent in all chat. He's been spamming the emotes, spamming the.
He hasn't been taunting in all chat. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he has.
He said thanks for banning Poppy, by the way. That's it.
Oh, come on. But in any case, he's certainly happy on this Darius, and he's playing it very far forward. So I'm interested to see how that goes as the game advances, because if CLG Rampage continues to not die in this lane, every advantage that Darius has basically becomes moot. So I'd say if we get through the next 4-ish minutes without CLG Rampage giving a significant amount of kills over to Tai, I feel it will start skewing in favor of the Shen.
Well, that is in fact possible, but of course Black Cleaver going to be picked up for the Darius here. Of course, very good against Shen and Braum and the like, and that armor shred. Meanwhile, Rift Herald going to be taken. There is no vision on this from the side of from the side of Clean Communication, excuse me, which means that this is actually a free Herald. Pre-14 might be able to get some plates off with it too.
Yeah, that's very, very important for Team of Teamers here. They want to try and break down some towers early because as the game progresses, it will get more
Oh,
difficult.
the Braum going in with the silence. Not going to be able to get the stop there. Nocturne ult coming in. Flash comes out. Rock ultimate. Not going to quite get the thing. Pasquino's going to try to do something there. Barrier going to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but not quite enough as the heal comes out for Jungle Milk, able to save him. And that is 2 kills picked up for Clean Communication as the Rift Herald gets summoned topside. This is going to be a tower trade, I wonder.
Yeah, it will be a tower trade now. I need to look and see here. That will be first tower going over to Team of Teamers, though. Very, very close, though. So a bit of an unfortunate situation there on the gank timing, but a good decision by Tank Duty to immediately come up and drop that Rift Herald top lane, get that tower. Though this does make it easier for the Shen to farm, because now Shen can farm much closer to his team. Tai Mai Tai has to go much deeper to do stuff, and now he's
but
starting to get
PM
ganked.
Mikuzori picks gonna get the suppression onto the. Oh, Darius, you're just dead.
Yeah.
Darius, you're just dead there. Not much you can do with the follow-up CC coming in from the Shen. Not able to flash away.
Yeah, I really don't think he should have stayed in that situation. He probably should have just gone back. He did not have the Black Cleaver yet, even.
And
So
just
I
like
think-
that, the gold lead is now in favor of Clean Communications.
Yes, very, very slightly, but still in favor of Clean Communications by about 300. And yeah, it really comes down to Tai Mai Tai just made a significant misplay there by not going back. It won't amount to too much, but it will allow CLG Rampage to catch up and farm. He's now only 16 down as opposed to the 30 he was just a minute ago. So that's going to shift this tank matchup. He does not have the Sunfire Cape yet.
Lots of vision towards the spot side for the next dragon. I believe it is going to be a mountain dragon, actually. So let's see. Vision's going to try to be cleared out. Tai Mai Tai walking into a brush there. Gets slowed down and stunned. He's going to be taken down, but meanwhile, Pasquino going to do Savage Guard and taken very low. Has to use the Unbreakable. Shen ultimate comes through. There's the Braum ultimate and the dive coming through. Rocco. Try to get the saves, but people are fleeing. They are dying. That is 2 kills over. 1 from Name My Pike, and 1. Oh, here goes Tank Duty. He's going to go down. That's actually 3 kills on to the side of Clean Communications.
Ooh,
2-1 of Jinx
man.
Ultimate not going to get the kill just yet. That is 3 kills, 2-1, and a Drake on the side of Clean Communications. Pasquino gonna try to get Savage Garden here. Oh, there's the root gonna land slow. Taken down, but the suppression able to kill. That's a very worthwhile trade, I would say. ADC for support. And
Yeah,
they're gonna get right
Pasquino-
back onto this Mountain Drake, actually.
Pasquino a little bit tilted there. I feel like I'm gonna just get this 1 kill. I don't care what happens. Probably not for the best there. That does give them the dragon and another kill for free. They are kind of trapped in this pit, though.
Owlery gonna try to get something in this. Gonna be taken very low. Egg's gonna go down. Flash. Meanwhile, Tank Duty gonna try to get something. Silence comes through. Gonna get it. The Darius Dunk not able to get the kill, but Tank Duty. The follow-up, that is 2-4-0 on the side of Team of Teamers. And they're gonna be able to get mid-turret off that.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate they got stuck in the dragon pit there. Not really any way around that. Shen probably should have just left Jungle Milk to die and eat over the wall instead of going in on Owlery. Even without the egg up, that would have been 1 for 2 in any case, so probably should have just left him to die, honestly.
And meanwhile, the Anivia is just going to be able to push in onto this Malzahar now that she has hit level 11 here. It's going to have a lot more pushing power than Malzahar will throughout the rest of the game. So we're going to start seeing that go into the Anivia's favor, potentially. Still a 500, 600 gold lead on to the side of Clean Communications as we head into this mid-game.
And in addition to the small gold lead, they also have 2 Mountain Drakes. So if they win even 1 team fight, that's definitely at least 1 tower, maybe 2 down. And if they win a team fight around the top side of the map in After the next 3 minutes, then it's almost certainly going to be a start of a Baron. They could probably take Baron at spawn with Jungle Milk on this Vayne and with, bad
the
things
things.
happening in the mid lane.
Something that is worth noting is that the next dragon is actually also a Mountain Drake, so triple Mountain Drake might be huge if Clean Communication is able to grab that.
Yeah, and with Malzahar, they do have a fair bit of siege. Obviously, the rest of the team not particularly good at sieging, but Malzahar very, very good at it. So they do have that working for them as well. Malzahar can go into the side lane, or they can group up and try and siege down some towers.
And
Alarie
that
can clear
forces
the
them to get
waves.
into whatever lane the Malzahar is in. As
Yeah,
well.
Alarie can clear the waves, but if the entire team is there, Alarie's range will make it difficult for them to clear the waves safely.
But meanwhile, Malzahar's all alone mid lane. They could maybe look for this dive, but instead they're just gonna get some turret damage.
And he's
Gonna block
continuing to use the Voidlings to block the W's to stop his passive shield from being taken, which means that he will be very safe in this mid lane. Because if they do go for the dive, they'll first have to get rid of the shield to see him. So it'll be very difficult to lock him down.
Meanwhile, maybe just gonna outpush this. And maybe a Jinx. Once Jinx gets her Runons, there's a lot of wave clear on that too, as well.
Yeah, this is coming down to a stalemate. Until the next fight happens, this is pretty much going to be a clearing match. Tai Mai Tai being tied up, trying to push against CLG Rampage.
Oh, but there's the silence. Gonna get that spell shield off. Anivia not quite able to get that wall onto the Braum. Wall's in the wrong place. Meanwhile, Slow coming in onto the Malzahar, not gonna get much yet. Tank duty maybe gets caught out, but things are just gonna reset here as they look towards Baron.
The Baron's going to be up in about 45 seconds, which means that these teams need to be on top of it. Specifically, Team of Teamers needs to get some wards down on this Baron side, because with two Mountain Drakes plus a Vayne, Team Clean Communication has a very excellent Baron take.
Oh, Savage Garden able to keep My Name is Pike from going down there with the Stand Behind Me and Unbreakable. But My Name is Pike slowed down. Things keep going on, and Vision gets cleared a bit.
Tai Mai Tai being trapped down here in this bot lane is tremendously good for Clean Communication, though, because CLG Rampage can join the fight whenever he wants. Tai Mai Tai cannot. So forcing him to be in the side lane, to be split pushing, means that it gives a tremendous 4v4 advantage to the side of Clean Communication, and they will pick up this mid lane tower on the back of it. Just Alarie decides to go back, and suddenly the tower's gone. That's what I'm talking about with the siege potential of this team. Even with a low-range ADC, they force the opposing mid laner to go back to try and get some
but the
items.
wall comes through. Silence going to be able to stop the ultimate and anything else from coming. Flash, however, is expended.
Yeah, that's very important because the Flash Malzahar ult is a significant part of the engage for the mid laner whose name may not be named.
They're actually going to take this Ocean Dragon.
That's not
Potentially a fight happening here. Or rotate.
That's a Mountain Dragon.
Sorry, Mountain, not Ocean. We were talking about triple mountains earlier. Anyway, Alarie's gonna get the stun onto My Name is Pike. My Name is Pike and a spell shield and flash away. Now that's a flash down. Savage Guardian gets a 3-man knockup. Power Fist Me taken down very low, and the stasis comes through. There's the dive, able to get one, able to get
CLG
two.
Rampage.
This might actually be a turn, but no. The flash from Alarie, he's taken down very low. He's gonna get his egg taken, and he's gonna be taken down. That is once again another 3-for-1 in favor of Clean Communications, and that's a Mountain Drake and potentially even the Baron.
Yeah, that's 3 Mountain Drakes now picked up. Almost exactly a repeat of the earlier Dragon fight, but again, another advantage for CLG Rampage being in that bot lane against the split push from Tai Mai Tai. Tai Mai Tai needs to be with his team and making picks. If he's split pushing, he puts CLG Rampage in the perfect position to flank, for the perfect position to take these kills. They're playing right into the hands of Clean Communication by putting Tai Mai Tai in a side lane.
Meanwhile, Alarie's actually very behind on his second item. not able to get that Archangel staff just yet. 23 minutes on the Archangels is that hurts a lot as an as an Anivia player.
Yeah, I mean that's. I do like the pickups from FBI Open up here with the Luden's Echo and the Rylai's. He's eschewed the Rod of Ages here for instead going for the Rylai's as his tank item, which does slow down the enemy team, cuts into their already low mobility.
Tower trade actually gonna happen. Team of Teamers sees that they're taking this top tower here. Meanwhile, Suppress and the TP coming in. Flash comes out of the Suppress. Darius taking down a half health. Meanwhile, TP from the Anivia is gonna stop any potential siege as the mid lane siege comes in for Team of Teamers. They might actually be able to get a second tower or a good chunk of damage just based on the positioning.
I don't know where my name is Pike is going. He's just like, I'm just gonna go over here now, I guess.
Anivia might actually be looking for this with the Darius, gets the wall onto the Shen, but that's actually 2 towers for 1. Severe misplay from Clean Communication, actually.
What is Pike? What is my name is Pike doing? He's just like, I'm just gonna go sit by my red buff. You're full health, dude. You can still defend the tower. It's full health.
The gold lead
just delay them.
The gold lead's still an advantage of Clean Communication here, and they still have three Mountain Drakes, which will help them melt the Baron. But those 2 mid-lane towers are going to put a lot of pressure towards Clean Communication, and maybe keep them from taking the Baron for quite a bit longer as Team of Teamers scales up.
Yeah, this is a difficult situation they put themselves in, and it's CLG Rampage is here on the top side. They should have just seen Pasquino on the bot side, so if they want to engage, now would be the time.
Braum going in on the engage. Anivia stun and wall gonna whiff super hard with the disengage wall. You know, gonna stop things. Nocturne ultimate is wasted there.
Yeah, and that's Pasquino now coming up towards the top side, so now they need to take the Rift Herald.
Or the Baron, you mean.
The Rift Scuttler, and they need to back off for them.
But here's the Death Brush. This is going to be sniffed out. Tank Duty stepping a bit far forward. Silence, a press onto the Anivia. Anivia. Yeah, Braum ultimate. Gonna get 3. Time My Tai taken down very low, stunned and killed. That is a 2 for 0 and a Baron over to Clean Communication. Very well done on that Death Brush.
Yeah, and Anivia's a great champion, but just so very easy to catch out. It's just so difficult here. Now, Tank Duty is over the wall. Nothing you can really do there. But so easy to catch out if you are in the wrong positioning. It's a supremely complicated champion to play in a positioning sense, as I'm sure you're well aware, Nick. And unfortunately, Allery was just in the wrong position.
Allery actually stepped up forward to try to get some sort of CC or disengage to help with Tank Duty, who was the initial catch there. But yeah, if you're gonna kill an Anivia or a Graves, and both are behind, it's probably better to kill the Anivia because she scales a lot better late game there. And as you can see, we're at 25 minutes, and she's still not on her second item. That is huge. Meanwhile, Malzahar is almost completed with his Liandry's.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. We talked about how Anivia gets the 3rd item and then she becomes significantly better than the Malzahar. Well, if they don't get to the 3rd item, then they're not going to be significantly better. Now, obviously, eventually they will get to the 3rd item, but I just remember last game when there was the advantage for Team Clean.
Oh, but here's the engage. Maybe Anivia ultimate gonna get on Braum, who's gonna just dash over the wall, stand behind me. Not able to get the pick quite there. They lose the tower for it.
Anyway, it was the lead that Clean Communication built up did prevent Team of Teamers from getting to that 3rd item point. That was a big point of contention there, and that's something that I would have mentioned had I remembered it when we had alone the conversation, is that if they don't get to that 3rd item spike, then it doesn't really matter that they be stronger at that point.
I mean, if you look at this right now, just completed the Archangel staff with the Anivia. CLG Rampage might be a little bit caught out here. Not gonna W.
Fine.
Meanwhile, Savage Garden gonna get the 2-man knockup, nearsighted onto the Anivia. Anivia is trying to catch out but the flash comes through from the Nocturne trying to get out. Raka gets the heals and the suppression onto the back line, but he's all alone. CLG Rampage gonna get some taunts out, not gonna quite get anything yet. Everyone is super low, but no one's committing to any hard engages.
Yeah, this is a bit of a bad fight for Clean Communications, so I would want them to back off here. I don't like them trying to engage in the situation, and I keep moving away from my microphone. I need to stop doing that. I don't like them engaging in that situation because it's near a tower, a relatively healthy tower that's significantly less healthy now, let's be honest, but also they don't really have the advantage in positioning in that team fight, so I would want them to back off, and they do before any of them die, which is good because that would have been a major turnaround with the gold lead as relatively small as it is compared to the gold leads we were seeing last game.
Another thing that is worth mentioning is that Jinx is actually now starting to scale up. Once she gets that third item, she's actually going to get ahead of the Vayne for a little bit. Once she gets that third crit item, of course, she had to pay the Malzahar tax here into the QSS, but as you see, you're going to get another Zeal.
Where is that Krug going?
Where? What? Okay. Weird Krugs are weird.
This is just like, get back here! That was fun. Anyway. Hero Krug.
Hero Krug there. Gonna save some of these Krugs.
Malzahar's down in the bot lane. Along
Siege up here with the Shen.
with Shen. That's very, very good. There's no one there. They should be able to pick up this tower pretty much for free. Rotating across the map very, very well for Team Clean Communication. Clean map movements is what I'm talking about. Monty would be proud if he
Monty doesn't do League
everything.
anymore.
Yeah. Again.
But you know who came back from Overwatch to do League?
Who's that?
Crumbs, the Prophet. He's back on the analyst desk, baby.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, I loved him on Renegades. The only person who ever did actually good on that team. Good times, good times. Freeze was okay, I guess. Anyway.
No, Surf was okay. Oh, okay. Surf was the reason they ended up having more, because he kind of popped off at the end of that season.
Seraph was okay is the first time that sentence has ever been uttered anywhere in League of Legends.
I mean, he's literally the only reason they got...
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. But still. Alright, now that we're done reminiscing about 3-year-old League of Legends. Gabe's still pretty... My god, it is 3 years old at this point, isn't it? That was Season 5.
No, it's Season 6.
Season 6, okay, so...
That
still 3
was
years because
spring
we're Season
2016,
9.
the original IMT. Actually, Savage Guardian is gonna get caught out here, not gonna be able to disengage quite yet. Whoa, the Unbreakable! Not gonna be able to get the damage taken by the Jinx ultimate with the snipe. Almost got out there with the stand behind me, but now this actually is a lot of pressure and a great kill. Great pickup for Team of Teamers.
Yeah, Team of Teamers got a really good pick up there with that kill. Now the question
my name is Flex actually caught out here. Gonna get stun wall, gonna not let them go anyway, but the
CLG Rampage
sort
has...
of thing. CLG Rampage is taken down super low. He's caught out. Is he gonna be able to get much there? Down to half health. Jungle Milk up here, gonna try to cut it out, but there's the Nocturne engage onto the Soraka. Rock is able to flash an ultimate out. Shen ultimate coming on to the Nocturne gonna get out there, and that's a whole lot of nothing for a whole lot of nothing as Savage Guardian comes back online and Clean Communication looks towards this Baron.
Now, the interesting thing here is that was all pretty much delaying tactics to get Savage Garden back up, but is it worth it? Because they did use 2 very key ultimates there.
But Savage Garden has his ultimate up there, and Malzahar, they're able to get quite a bit of engage on their... CLG Rampage gonna catch out tank duty, not quite. Gonna miss the Q. There's the Braum ultimate, only one, but that one is enough. Able to get onto Time My Tie. Now the stops the Anivia, but Pasquino is able to get Savage Guardian. Flash forward from CLG Rampage. This is actually a massacre. My name is Pike taken down very low. The Graze ultimate not able to get it quite yet, but the Malzahar goes down. That's a Baron over to Team of Teamers as CLG Rampage goes down as well. A 4-for-1 and a Baron. This is exactly what they needed to get back in this game.
Very, very good. Well, okay, tank duty.
Well, that was a little bit of BM there. Not gonna lie.
Now, this is a very, very slow Baron take, but My Name is Pike is way too far back to do anything about it, unfortunately. Assume the position getting awfully low there, but he's going to be able to get out.
And Taimatai actually respawns, so that's 5 people have the Baron on the side of Team of Teamers. They can put Taimatai in that bot lane or top lane, or in that top lane and position around the Infernal Dragon.
I don't think they'll be able to get down to the Infernal Drake in time, though. Only Pasquino and Taimatai are here.
But My Name is Pike, not able to solo take it. Jungle Milk gonna get here in time. Oh, but they might actually go for the engage. Not quite.
Yeah, so that is 5 Drakes over to Clean Communication, though. So while they did lose the Baron, they did pick up another Drake. That's 2 Infernals and 3 Mountains. So any team fight goes into their favor now. They have a significant advantage. If they get a clean ace at any point, it's the base open.
Well, and the Elder Dragon is freaking huge for Clean Communication. A 5 Dragon Elder, that's a lot of true damage, as well as the equivalent of almost 5 Mountain Drakes and 3 Infernals. That is absolute insane pushing power. Meanwhile, Savage Garden gonna try to get something on with this Anivia, who is taken out. Shen ultimate coming through. Gonna get the stun onto the Anivia. Anivia, oh no, you got caught, my dude. You got caught. That wasn't actually Shen ultimate. That was the Saracen
This
Braid.
is the base cracked off of more or less nothing.
Well, actually, they might actually end up having to trade a base crack here. Now I'm looking at it because the Jinx and
Are they
but they're going for the end. They're going for the end. The Nocturne ultimate going in onto the Soraka. Meanwhile, the Malzahar going to be taken down super low. Is he? Yep. But that's it. The Nexus turrets are dead. This might actually be the Nexus here, and that is the game. Clean Communications goes for the throat and wins. They are your Learning 5's North American Bronze, Silver, Winter 2019 champions.
Amazing decision there. I don't know who the shot caller is for Team Clean Communication, but perfect decision making there. FBI open up, goes back, defends that tower, continues to delay them just long enough. Pasquino makes the fateful decision to stay on there, should have gone back with his support, and if they had done that, almost certainly would have only been the inhibitor, but instead they tried to take the inhibitor, didn't think about the Fortunes Fortoribus Fawet, and in the end it comes down to a really well played and well called team fight there.
It's a no-brainer. You got 2 guys on the bot side, you got 2 guys on the top side, you have 4 people in there on the Nexus turrets. You just go in, have your 1 guy in the bot lane stall and run over the base. It doesn't matter that they had Baron buff, because 2 for nothing with absolutely none of your damage champions up, that is, or 2 versus 4 with none of your damage champions in that fight, that's a lost cause.
Yeah, that was really well done there. So well done to Clean Communication. Like Nick said, you guys are our Bronze Silver Winter 2018-2019 champions, and we're going to take just a slight pause before we go into the Gold Plat finals, and we'll see how that progresses. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back soon.